And again, we get back to these long-term stories. Like, let's start telling quick-term stories. Let's go back to telling stories that give us beats every single week that actually matter. Who's the devil? We've got to reveal. They better reveal this at Full Gear. That would be the time to do it. No later than Full Gear, certainly. At Full Gear, I want to see MJF beat Jay White. I don't think anybody actually believes Jay White is going to beat MJF. I want to see MJF beat Jay White, and then I want the devil to finally reveal himself. Or herself. There are a couple of things going on. Who is the devil? I have no idea. I can wildly speculate and tell you who I think it would be cool if it was. I think that a lot depends on Adam Cole's injury. If he's once again out for an extended period of time, then there's a good chance that whatever the original plan was for the devil is out the window. That we've got to start from scratch again and go, well, it's not going to be this person because that story doesn't make any sense anymore because Adam Cole's not going to be back on TV. If Adam Cole is going to be back on TV anytime, then that's a horse of a different color. There are 3 options. One of them is a big reach, but it's an industry changer. The other 2 are more realistic. If Adam Cole is not out, if he is on his way back, then I think the devil shows up, right? And MJF goes, "Who are you?" And then Adam Cole comes to ringside, right? And stands behind MJF. And MJF goes, "Okay, good. Adam's here." So we know it's not Adam. And then, "I know it's you, Roddy. I know it's you, Roddy." And then Taven and Mike Bennett come out. And it's like, oh, okay, so Roddy's back. And then on the other side, Roddy comes out. And you go, what? And so now you got MJF and Adam Cole in the ring. You got the devil on the front of the ramp. And on one side is Roderick Strong. And on the other side is Taven and Bennett. So now we know where the kingdom is. And we go, well, then what the hell? And then the mask comes off, and under the devil mask is Britt Baker. And MJF goes, huh? And that's when Adam Cole turns on MJF. And we realized Britt Baker was behind the devil mask, and this was all a plan from the beginning. Adam Cole joins Taven and Bennett and the Kingdom. Britt Baker and Maria are there together. It's a whole thing. And now MJF has to find his friends, and eventually we get to blood and guts, right? If we've got Adam Cole and the Kingdom versus, and maybe somebody else, versus MJF and the Acclaimed or something like that. There's a million ways you could do it. Now, that's if Adam Cole is coming back. If Adam Cole is not coming back, I think the devil reveals himself as Swerve. I think it's time to go all the way with Swerve. And I think that MJF continues to get beaten up by people in the devil mask, but they all slowly reveal themselves to be like Keith Lee ends up being behind a devil mask. And Keith Lee has somehow found his way back to being one of Swerve's backup guys. And Swerve, instead of being a part of Nana's faction, or instead of being in that weird faction where he had the 2 guys in it that kind of didn't pan out, Swerve builds a strong faction around him that's like impenetrable. It's like real threats. And no more Nana, because Nana's too entertaining. People will be too excited for it. So Swerve being revealed as the devil is a big pick of mine. Now, if you want to go with the reach, but the industry shifter, if you want AEW to get hot again, and you want to make everybody go WTF, and we know what those letters stand for, then there's only one thing that can happen. The checkbook has to come out. Deals have to be made in utter secrecy. Because the mask has to come off, and it's got to be Punk. I mean, it's not going to happen, but can you imagine if the mask comes off and it's CM Punk under the mask and you can actually keep it a secret? You want to prove to me that AEW is not full of leaks and that they'll put business first before any of the other, nonsense that goes around there? You put CM Punk under that mask, and you've proven everybody wrong. CM Punk's under that mask. Number one, it's not a leaky boat anymore. And number two, who's not watching? CM Punk still has that AEW title with the X over it. We can finally do Punk versus MJF with Punk as a heel and MJF as a babyface. It would make up for so much. You wouldn't even have to do it at the next pay-per-view. Like, that's a story you could actually tell over a period of time. But I mean, dude, I know it's impossible. They just fired him. Tony Khan literally went on TV and said his life was in danger. But if you could somehow get CM Punk to promise, maybe put it in writing, I won't endanger your life. Also, here's a ton of money for you that they would give CM Punk in payment for wrestling services and not threatening his life. It would just be so crazy. And this is, one of the joys of being a wrestling fan is that we can bring up stuff that is this absolutely bonkers and speculate wildly.